Hi, good evening, everyone. I hope you had a great day. So today I want to talk about one of the root causes of most diseases. There are so many people suffering from cancer, diabetes, cardiovascular issues, migraines and headaches, obesity, the inability to lose weight most of the time. And we need to understand that the root cause of all of this is having an acidic body. Today it's extremely important for all of us to understand that having an acidic body or having acidic blood doesn't really mean that you have to have the symptoms of acidity. What I mean by that is most people think that, oh, if I have that burning sensation in my heart or that burning sensation in my throat, or if I have that acid reflux, I have an acidic body. But there are so many people who don't have those symptoms, but that doesn't mean that they don't have, they don't suffer from acidosis, which is an acidic body. It's extremely important to understand today the connection between an acidic body and most diseases, ranging from diabetes to cancer to the difficulty of losing weight. And we're going to understand exactly how the human body works. There are so many myths about moving on to an alkaline diet or having alkaline water or investing money in these expensive alkaline water machines. But it's about time we break all these myths and understand exactly what prevention is. It's so easy to talk about the prevention of disease. It's so easy to talk about the healing of diseases. We say, okay, let's follow a diet that's alkaline. Let's drink alkaline-rich water or eat alkaline-rich foods. But that's not the solution, because you see, the human body doesn't work that way. The human body has this brilliance and intelligence to manage the pH level of blood the right way. But if we don't treat the body the right way with the right food and the right lifestyle, that's when all the problems begin. So for example, diets which are high in protein, especially animal protein, diets which are high in cereals, diets which are high in sugar, diets which are high in high GI foods, basically have no nutrients and basically leave you with an acidic residue in the body, which causes acidosis. What we also need to understand that there are so many more things like tobacco, cigarette smoking, the overconsumption of alcohol, the overconsumption of tea, the overconsumption of water. Sorry, not water, that's the most important part. Tea, coffee. And of course, over-exercising as well and under-exercising can also produce acidosis, which is a condition of high acid levels in the human body. Stress as well, emotional stress, physical stress, like I mentioned, over-exercising or under-exercising as well has its contribution towards acidity. Now, nature has given us foods which are mainly alkaline, which is why when we stick to natural diets, we will find that we automatically achieve the right pH level in the human body. But when you look at most manufactured food, most processed food, in fact, all of it is very, very acidic in nature. It is acid producing in the human body. So the simple solution is we eat more wholesome and natural foods, and we eat less of all the manufactured and processed foods. So we're putting a ratio of almost at least 80% alkaline and 20% acidic foods, or 60% alkaline or 40% acidic foods. But let's understand how pH really works and what it really means. 70% of the human body is made up of water, which makes water the universal solvent in your body for many, 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 many functions to occur the right way or the wrong way, which is why I always say even a 1% drop in your water levels, a 1% drop in your hydration can lead to innumerable problems, from low immunity to migraines to poor skin and hair, an acidic body which makes it more difficult for you to lose weight. It delays healing. Now, what is pH? pH is potential of hydrogen. There's a ratio. Let's go back to school for a minute and we all remember the pH scale, where you have 7 in the center and 7 and below is acidic, 7 and above is alkaline. That's how the pH scale works. Now take that pH analogy right to your blood. Your blood requires a slightly alkaline level for your body to function the right way. Now we're talking about anything above 7, okay, roughly 7.35 to about 7.45 or 7.5 is the right alkaline level in the body, which means your body is oxygen rich. Your cells are oxygen rich. What is oxygen? In India, we call oxygen prana. Prana is your life force. We can live without food for a couple of days. We can live without water for a couple of days. But we can't live without oxygen for more than 3 to 4 minutes. It is your life force that powers every cell in your body. Let's talk about cells. How many cells in the human body? Approximately 37.2 trillion cells. and you have 400 billion stars in the galaxy. You have 37.2 trillion cells in the human body that constantly require nutrition and constantly require oxygen to perform its function of life and survival. Now, what happens when you go below the pH level of 7? You become acidic. Now, that's when you have symptoms, and that's when you have the onset and the start of most diseases. Sorry about that. So what we need to understand that anything below 6.8 and anything above 7.8 is when the body starts to die. Your cells start to slowly die. And that's what leads to degeneration and low immunity and most of the chronic diseases that exist in today's world. And here we have machines selling us water, promising us alkaline levels of 8, 8.5, 9, 11, and even 11.5. It's useless. It's dangerous for the human body. We need anything between not lesser than 6.8 and not higher than 7.8 for your cells to function the right way. So when we constantly try to drink lemon water throughout the day, it's not required. We need to drink lemon water and eat alkaline foods at the right time. That's when your blood has to be balanced, because remember, there are a lot of functions that also happen in the acidic medium of your body. So your body requires acids for many functions and an alkaline level of your blood for many other functions as well. So technically, what happens when we get too acidic? The body needs to survive. The human body requires to maintain a pH level of approximately 7.3 to 7.5 to maximum 7.8. Now, if our body's too acidic, the human body will do anything and everything to make the blood alkaline, because that's what's required for living. That's what's required for survival. So guess what? It's going to start leaching from your body to make your blood alkaline. It's going to start leaching sodium, potassium, magnesium, calcium, and all of these minerals are required by your vital organs for survival. As these minerals start getting depleted from your vital organs, you have low immunity and you start degenerative diseases in your body. And this can build up slowly over the years before it expresses itself into a disease. Even a cancer. Cancer just doesn't happen today. A cancer has started growing in your body 6 months to a year to maybe even a year and a half before it actually expresses itself in the form of a cancer. And all these minerals get depleted and leached from your vital organs, which is why we have so many people today who have problems with their liver, their kidneys, their lungs, their brains, their skin, their hair, their colon, and all these important vital organs of the human body. Your bile, what is the function of bile? The function of bile is to break down fat. The function of bile is to break down fat. Now, bile is stored in your gallbladder. When your blood is too acidic, okay, your bile contains alkaline salts. Your body now starts leaching these alkaline salts from your bile to make the pH of your blood alkaline. As these alkaline salts come out of your bile, the bile gets thicker and thicker and can no longer flush out cholesterol from your gallbladder. And because you cannot flush out cholesterol from your gallbladder, that's what forms gallbladder stones. Gallbladder stones is basically cholesterol that is unable to come out of your gallbladder because the alkaline salts from your gallbladder is used to balance the pH level of your blood, because your food habits or your lifestyle has made your body way too acidic. Now what happens? What's the next thing? You cut off your gallbladder, or you do a sonography and an ultrasound and you're told that, oh wow, you have gallbladder stones in you. Now remove your gallbladder, and then you have a whole set of other problems. In many cases, the gallbladder has to be removed for your own safety reasons. But in most cases, again, you're only treating the symptom. You're looking at gallstones. You're missing the trigger, which is an acidic body. So if you take time off to change your diet into a balanced diet where your body basically has alkaline levels of blood, guess what? Those gallbladder stones can eventually break down with the right lifestyle and the right diet. And we see that happening all the time. We have so many people who were advised to do a gallbladder surgery, and today they just change their diet and the way they live, and they're living with their gallbladders completely free of all those calcified gallstones. So you see, we miss the root cause because we're always looking to treat the symptom. The symptom is the gallstone. The root cause is an acidic body. So it is so important to understand acidity and alkaline levels of the human body because it is connected with so many diseases. Now, if you have an acidic body, you cannot heal. If you have a disease, be it diabetes, be it cardiovascular, whatever the disease is, you cannot heal if you do not change from acidic to alkaline. You cannot digest and you cannot absorb nutrients and vitamins from the food you eat if your body is acidic. Your body cannot detoxify. Most of your heavy metals in your body cannot be detoxified and eliminated from your body if your body is acidic. Tumors and cancer cells will thrive in an acidic medium because they do not like oxygen. Remember, acidic, oxygen deprived. Alkaline, oxygen rich. Most bacteria, viruses, and cancer cells cannot live in an oxygenated environment, which is why it is so important when it comes to your cancer, immunity, and disease that we maintain a pH level which is alkaline. The impact of emotional stress and physical stress on your acidic and alkaline levels is real. The more stressed you are, the more cortisol you have, the more acidic you become. The lack of sleep. When you have lack of sleep, your body becomes more and more acidic. And again, a 1% drop in your water intake. I can't tell you how many clients I have consulted with over the last month where most of their problems were related to one root cause. They were drinking 2 to 3 glasses of water in a day. And I could guarantee each of them with conviction that if they only got their water intake up, most of the symptoms that they had come to me for would disappear. And they disappeared only by changing the water intake. So now it doesn't matter what kind of exercise you're doing. It doesn't matter how well you're sleeping. It doesn't matter if your body is acidic. Everything is in disorder in your body. So let's talk about the whole list of diseases, and there are so many more which are caused because of an acidic medium in the human body. Now we're not talking symptoms, we're talking root causes. Migraines, candida and yeast infections, inflammation, cardiovascular, low immunity, kidney and gallstones, hormonal issues, osteoporosis, because guess what happens if your blood is constantly acidic? Your blood is going to leach calcium from your bones. And because you have low calcium, you'll have low D3. What's one of the biggest problems in our country right now? 1 in 3 people have low levels of D3. And that is our main cause of osteoporosis and arthritis as well. And we can constantly keep treating the symptoms, but we will never get better. We have fatigue. So many people, they sleep well, they exercise, but they're constantly tired throughout the day because if you can't get oxygen and nutrients to the 37.2 trillion cells, you will be constantly fatigued throughout the day no matter how well you sleep, no matter how much you eat. Then you have cancer, you have cramps, you have diabetes, you have lupus, you have tuberculosis, you have ulcers, you have gastritis, you have cracked lips and ulcers in the mouth, and you have a low sex drive. And for children, so many parents are worried about their children's growth. If your child's body is acidic, HGH, which is the human growth hormone, which helps a child to grow physically as well as in height, will be hampered because HGH will not function in a body which is acidic. Now let's come to all foods. All foods, acidic or alkaline, has nothing to do with the pH level of food. Let's take lemon, for example. Lemon in its raw form is highly acidic, but post-digestion, it is highly alkaline. Meat, let's talk about meat. Meat in its raw form is highly alkaline, but when digested in the body, it leaves you a completely acidic residue. So you see, when you have a balanced diet, many of the good foods are acidic in nature, but it doesn't mean it will make your body acidic. When it's combined the right way and eaten in the right proportions, you'll actually have the right level of pH in the human body. Now, when you have over acid in your body, guess where that gets stored? That gets stored in your fat cells. All the extra acids in your body get stored in your fat cells, and that starts leaching calcium from your bones and sodium, potassium, magnesium, and all of those other minerals. Now we have to understand blood, because if you have the right blood, you have the right health. If you have the right health, that means everything to you. Blood carries oxygen and nutrients from the food that you eat to 37.2 trillion cells. Now let's have a look at this diagram. Now if you can look, these are blood cells right over here. Look at the space between these blood cells. These are healthy blood cells. Now if you look at this blood cell over here, Your blood cell has a positive charge in the center and a negative charge on the outside of the blood cell. Now, because it has a positive charge in the center and a negative charge on the outside, they are able to repel each other, and there is space between each of your blood cells. Now, that space, the space that you see between your blood cells allows blood to flow freely between the cells and reach your capillaries and feed your cells nutrients and oxygen, and also take away waste from your cells and remove it out of your body. Now, this happens when you have an alkaline body. There's space between your blood cells so that the right amount of blood flow, oxygen, and nutrition can get into your cells, and it can take away all the waste from your cells out of your body. Natural detoxification, natural assimilation of nutrients. Now, this is how an acidic body looks. In an acidic body, the negative charge from the outside of the cell gets wiped out with all the excess acids. So all of the cells now start clumping together, and the blood cannot flow freely to all the capillaries, supplying it with the right oxygen, the right nutrients to make the right energy in your body. You see, every cell has a function of making energy. So if you feel that you don't have the right energy levels in your body, you have a problem with your cells. You have a problem with your blood. You have a problem with the medium of your blood. You're too acidic, which is not allowing the nutrients from the food that you eat and the oxygen from the air that you breathe to reach all of these cells. And that's exactly how blood works, which is why it's so important for us to understand the balance between an alkaline blood system and an acidic blood system. If you have a sleep problem at night, many people can't sleep because their bodies are too acidic. If you have a meal which is rich in alkaline foods and you're well hydrated throughout the day, guess what? You'll sleep well at night because your cells will separate, they'll get the right nutrition, you'll be energized to sleep well, and all the detoxification that happens while you sleep will happen more easily because your blood cells are in the right place with the right gap between them. And this explains why when you have a late night and you spend the night drinking and eating a lot of junk food, that's why you wake up feeling horrible in the morning, because you wake up with an acidic body filled with toxins because your blood's been unable to remove the toxins from your body. Your body is deprived of oxygen because your body was too acidic, which is why when you have good 6 to 7 hours of sleep and you have a light dinner, you wake up fresh and energetic every morning. But you have a late night and outside food and all that overconsumption of alcohol, you wake up feeling horrible and acidic, because that's exactly what an acidic body does. An acidic body will deplete your cells of oxygen, deplete your cells of nutrients, and rob you of energy. We can't get energy in an energy bar. We can't get energy in a protein shake. Your cells have the job of making energy from the nutrients that you get from the food that you eat. And like I always say, it's not about the food that you eat. It's how your body can break down and absorb the nutrients from the food that you eat. So now, what's the best way to check if your body is alkaline or acidic? You know, I usually refer to the urine test because the urine test gives you an acidic or an alkaline level of your urine. And it's good to look at your urine because all the waste products and all the depleted salts come out from your kidney in the form of urine. So if you do a urine test in the morning and your level's anywhere between 6 to 6.5, that's great. And in the evening, if your urine test is anywhere between 6.5 to 7, you have a healthy blood system. Your pH of your blood is absolutely fantastic. But again, remember what I told you about going too low on acid and too high on alkaline levels. So when cancer patients keep saying, hey, I'm trying to be totally alkaline, you're doing the wrong thing. What you need is moderation and balance. Your body has enough of intelligence and brilliance to manage the pH level automatically, itself, the way it needs to, without you having to do that if you just eat right, sleep right, move right, and think right. Why do you feel so good when you go in the outdoors where there's a forest or trees or a garden or a water body? Because in the outdoors, it is all charged with negative ions. Negative ions revive and rejuvenate us. But when we're staying in a city surrounded by gadgets and cell phones and microwaves, that produces a positively charged ion. And that drains us of energy. Everything is about energy in your cells, a negative charge and a positive charge. So when you go in nature, you're surrounded by negative ions, and that's why you naturally feel good, which is why one of the best medicines is surrounding yourself with nature as much as you can and cutting away from all of these things once in a way. That's one of the best medicines you can ever do. So again, when it comes to diabetes, when it comes to cancer, where does disease start? Disease starts in a cell. And when we're treating disease today, we're looking anywhere but in the cell. We're looking at medication, we're looking at stem cells treatments, chemos and radiations, and like I said, it may be needed at the right time, but we're only looking at the surface, we're not going beneath. If a disease starts in a cell, that's where we should be focusing most of our attention and most of our solution inside the cell. Is the cell getting the right nutrition? Is the cell able to detoxify all the waste? If that's in order, you cannot have disease in your body. But if that is compromised, it's not getting the right energy and it's storing all the waste because there's no proper blood flow to take away the waste, that is when you have disease. Be it diabetes, be it cancer, be it that whole list of diseases I just read out to you. So before we end this, let me give you a simple example of a fish in a fish tank. So if there's a fish in a fish tank and the fish is sick, and you look around and you see that the water in the fish tank is also dirty, there's no point in taking out the fish and treating the fish. Sometimes all you need to do is just change the water. So put that analogy in your body. Before you start running around and treating every symptom in your body, you need to get inside your body and see, does it even have the right medium to survive? Does it have the right medium to keep your immunity strong? And if it's acidic, the answer is no. You will get sick, you will have problems. And if you're alkaline, you can prevent and you can possibly heal most diseases. This is how the human body works. This is how blood works. This is the brilliance and the intelligence of your human body. And we take it for granted every single day. We chase fads, we chase things which we believe are good for us, like protein, where it's doing more damage. It may be giving us a little bit of muscle and knocking off 1 or 2 kilos. And the next thing, you have the patient coming with severe acidity and bloating and flatulence and autoimmune diseases and all of that stuff. The root cause is your blood, your pH level. Aim to be alkaline, a little alkaline, 7.3 to 7.8 max. Don't try to be more alkaline like that. There's no living organism on this planet that requires a pH level of more than 8. So that machine, that Kangen machine that you just bought, which is giving you 8.5 and 9 and 11, I'm sorry, you just wasted your money and you're doing more harm to your health. And when your body is too acidic, you got to start making those lifestyle changes, which is why you want to drink alcohol, drink, but also make sure your body is alkaline. You want to eat a little bit of junk food and take your kids out for junk food, that's okay, but have you created an alkaline medium in their bodies throughout the day as well? It's all about balance, it's all about moderation. And that's why if you're suffering from diseases like diabetes and cancer, the first thing that you give up is meat, because that is acid forming in the human body. And you move vegetarian, heal your disease, get stronger, build up your immunity, and then you can go back to eating meat if you choose to do that. So we need to start choosing the right foods. It's not about filling your diet with alkaline-rich foods, because now you now understand that it takes much more than foods. It's your lifestyle. When you're sitting in one place for 6 to 7 hours and you have a sedentary lifestyle, you slow down your blood circulation. And by now, we all understand how important blood is in the human body and how important it is for your blood to circulate to feed those 37.2 trillion cells in the human body. Respect your body, love your body. It's keeping you alive every single day. Those 37.2 approximately trillion cells are working for you every second of the day while you're awake, while you're sleeping. So the least you can give your body is the right amount of sleep, the right amount of movement, the right amount and the right quality of food, and the right amount of emotional detoxification. Have a good night, everyone. Until next time, eat smart, move more, sleep right, and breathe deep.